Oh my God. Riding with one glove. Can I get a See that? IROC Z, baby. We got the good one. Hey everybody, welcome to the Big Jake channel. Why are we standing in a garage with a black Dodge Challenger? Well, this is not just any Challenger. This is Betty. And yes, the obvious comparison is Black Betty. I wanted to play the song, but you know, copyright infringement and monetization, all that good stuff. Anyway, this is a 2016 Dodge Challenger Scat Pack. Again, the name is Betty. She belongs to one of my dearest friends who's actually behind the camera watching me film this. He bought this car a couple years ago and it is his weekend toy. It's his baby. Now, I should preface this by saying that this friend has a few Dodges. He owns basically a version of every vehicle Dodge makes or has made. He has a lot of them, but Betty is his cruiser. It's his baby, and he wanted one for a long time, and he actually had a red 2015 Dodge Ram that he also loved, and one day he was at a local dealership, this was about 2 years ago, and he came across this Challenger. Now, he wasn't planning on buying a Challenger that day, that month, or even that year, but this was a leftover. He bought it in 2017, and it's a 2016. So they were already knocking some money off the sticker price, and my friend, being the shrewd negotiator that he is, shout out to VinWiki, got them down to a price that he just couldn't ignore. And so he showed up at my house one day, 2 summers ago, in Betty, and he was in love. Betty is, again, a 2016 Challenger Scat Pack with a 6-speed manual transmission, the 6.4 liter, 392 cubic inch, 485 horsepower Hemi V8, and she is a blast. Now again, you've seen me do a couple videos on some vehicles that are a couple years old that everybody has already filmed, and that is again the case here. There's not a shortage of video reviews on the 2016, 2017, 2015 Challenger RT, Scat Pack, SRT, even the Hellcat. There's plenty of them, but this is my take, and this is not just any Challenger. Again, this is Betty. So we are going to take a look at Betty today. We're going to take her out on the road. We're going to show you some of her interesting features and some of the things that you might not appreciate about these cars if you haven't driven one. Now, the obvious comparison to this car is the Camaro and the Mustang. Now, I have driven a 6th gen Camaro SS pretty extensively. I've put a few hundred miles on those, as well as the 17 and 18 S550 Mustangs. Now, I can tell you both of those cars are great in their own right, and they're unique. But as far as a true muscle car, the Challenger, namely Betty, is my favorite, and I'll explain why. Now, as we're taking this car out on the road, I would like to preface this video by saying that it is an honor for me to even be driving this car. You see, this car belongs to one of my closest friends in the world, and it's not like anybody gets to drive it. It took me, oh, the exhaust. It took me a solid 1.5 years to get behind the wheel of this car because this thing is his baby. He loves this car, and understandably so. Brand new MSRP on this car was $51,000, and you'll have to forgive the bouncing in the camera. That's a cell phone that you're seeing this through, and so the mount is not great, so there's gonna be some vibration, so I apologize. If it gives you motion sickness, don't tell me about it. Again, people like to dog on the Challenger Charger, and I said this in my Charger RT review video, which is linked in the description below. I said it before, people like to dog on these cars because they're heavy and because the chassis is, you don't have a stop sign, you can go. Because the chassis is dated and whatever else, all the complaints. Anybody who's an internet warrior has something to say about the 2015 and up Charger Challenger platform. Everybody's got a comment, everybody's got a critique, but most of those people have not actually driven these cars. And I can tell you that especially this version with 485 horsepower, you're not really worried that it weighs a little bit more than the competition. Now, even the Mustang and even the Alpha Chassis Camaro, which is the 2016 and up, yes, those cars are lighter. This is not a light car. This car is over 4,000 pounds. But even those cars are almost 4K. And again, with 485 horsepower, you're not really worried about the weight. Is this a car that you'd want to autocross? Maybe not. There might be better choices out there. But as far as a true blue Sunday afternoon cruiser with a lot of power and more than you need to have a lot of fun, I'm yet to drive a car that tops the Challenger. It's just one of my favorites. Now, I'm a 6'4", 240-pound American, and I like bald eagles and freedom. So of course the V8 Challenger, this big heavy girl, makes sense to me. I like her a lot. The internet ruins you with horsepower. The internet makes you think that everything has to have 800 or 900 horsepower before it's even relevant, and if it's not going to dominate at Texas 2K, then it's just not worth owning. Well, I can tell you, even the 380 some odd horsepower version of these cars, they're a blast. And this one, Betty, is perfect at what she's meant to do, which is go fast in a straight line, sound great, look great, and be comfortable. Which brings me to another point of people bitching about the weight. Well, if you look back at the 60s and 70s, and I know cars have come a long way since then, those were big, heavy cars that were overpowered with small tires. So in that sense, this is the muscle car. The Mustang, the Camaro, they're great. I love them both in their own way, but those are essentially, at this point, those are sports cars. A muscle car has a big, commanding presence. It weighs a little bit. She's got some girth and a lot of power, and that's exactly what this car is. But you can take it across the country, and that's one of the reasons I like it so much. And what me and Joe, the owner of this car, have discussed many, many times is this is a no-sacrifice car. There are no sacrifices to be made with the Charger Challenger platform. Yeah, they weigh a little bit more, so I guess you could argue that that is a sacrifice. They're not going to corner or do, road courses like a Camaro. So sure, if that's your goal, then you could call that a sacrifice. But what I mean by no sacrifices is they're comfortable, you can drive them every day, you can get decent gas mileage. Even in this thing, you can get low 20s in this car with 4,500 pounds and 485 horsepower. I hope you enjoyed the video. Essentially, this is me just waxing poetic about how much I like this car and I like getting to drive it, so I decided to make a video about it because why not? If you want to see more of this car, you can follow me on Instagram. My URL to Instagram and the owner, they're both tagged in the description below. You can check out the car. There's plenty of pictures of it. It's a great, great car. Again, her name's Betty. Thanks for watching. If you like videos like this, hit the subscribe button. If not, don't tell me about it because I don't want to hear about it. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.
Brake. You're gonna have to.
Oh yeah. This is a foot brake in a manual car, which is
a release.
I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot in a manual car.
That was the hood.
This is not going well. This is gonna be in the blooper reel.
Oops.
Take two. Now we're gonna do it for Dale.